it will just be the five of us talking legal information.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just go back to the other room, all right?
Yeah.
Just get everybody, just call everybody back from the room, that's all.
Yeah.
All right.
And we'll do a one-on-one training, Maria. Greg, can we request that people put their names in there so that we're not looking at phone numbers or initials, especially when we don't have a name?
Maria, if you just make that a business rule, that when the notice goes out, that they all have to join the Zoom as a per. In fact, I would like their address on there too.
All right.
An address.
I'm back in the other room.
Yeah.
Look at you.
It's good to have you back, Mike.
Huh?
It's good to have you back.
I got lost there a little.
I'm so sorry, guys.
That's okay.
You shouldn't
All
feel
right.
bad, Maria. This is not easy stuff. We're all learning this stuff.
Ricardo?
I think we lost the attorney.
No,
No,
wait.
she's not coming.
Huh.
Maria, Ricardo. Did we bring Ricardo back?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's continue. What we're gonna do
Where's
for those
Sherry?
of you, she's here.
She's there.
For those of you that left us briefly and are now back, what we decided to do is we're going to continue on with the meeting. We're going to get another call with the lawyer, just the five of us, and Ricardo and I, having met with him this afternoon, will give you just a brief overview to tell you where we stand with the legal issues. Okay, so all I want to let's go through this stuff here. The next thing I just need to affirm for the record that none of the board members hold a contract with the HOA or are an officer with an entity or another board or company that owns a contract with the HOA. And so I'll just do a roll call. And if you can just affirm that you do not or you do, just sound off. Ricardo.
I do not.
Jim.
I do not.
Jerry.
No, I do not.
Mike, do you hold a contract with the HOA or are you a board member or an officer of an entity that does?
I do not.
Okay, and for the record, I do not as well. So for the record, no one on the board holds a contract or part of an entity that holds a contract with the HOA. Okay. I'd like to make a motion that we move to accept the resignation of Raul from committees. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay. Ricardo seconds. Any discussion?
I'm sorry, Greg, can you restate it? There was some distraction, so if you could just say it again.
The motion on the floor is to accept the resignation
Okay.
from the architectural committee of Raul.
Thank you.
And it was seconded by Ricardo. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, moving on. Nomination and consideration of new committee members. I would like to make a motion that, I know some of you have voiced that you want to meet with, interview, and so that we select the right committee. But I do see, in terms of keeping business being done, that we don't wait and hold things that need to get done until we do that process. So what I am proposing is that, at least for the Architectural Review Board and for the Grievance Committee, that we hold those that are on the board in place, and that a board member, one or two, I know there's only one person on the Architectural Review Board, so it would require two of us to be on the board to get those things, to go look through those. So the motion on the floor is to keep the boards intact, and then supplement the Architectural Review Board with board members, so that we continue to business the community until we can nominate, consider, and vote on new committee members. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
So, who is
Ricardo?
the person on that architectural board committee? I wasn't clear on that, Greg.
Okay, Maria, is that John?
John Sufrant,
Yeah,
he was in the committee probably the few last weeks of the last month.
right. So basically, it's gonna have to be two board members to sit down with John to consider these ARBs. Otherwise, we're gonna have to schedule another meeting to do it ourselves.
No, I agree with that.
What?
I said I agree. That's not a problem to move forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sherry, any comments?
This question, is John, the person that was on the board before?
He's a
Yes.
new member, yes, Jonathan. Yes.
He
But he
was, yes, yeah.
He was
Yeah,
brand
yeah.
new to the. He was brand new
Right.
to the board, right? Correct.
Yes,
Mhm.
Okay.
yes, I support that.
Okay. Mike?
No problem. Agree.
All those in favor of moving forward with the current board members and being augment the Architectural Review Board, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Okay. Just like, if any of you wanted to sit on that board, just send me a note, and so we can get the thing started.
Greg, what about the homeowners? Is there anything we should be asking them now if there's an interest in getting involved?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Why don't you go ahead and make that announcement, Sherry?
All right, I announced, and a number of people expressed they wanted to participate in with things in our community. So if you are interested in getting on the architectural committee board, architectural committee, grievance committee, and what's the other one?
Right now, let's just go with those two to get.
Oh, landscaping was the other. I forgot about that one. But anyway, those two. Not the landscaping. You want to keep that separate?
Let's keep that separate. I just want to
Okay.
get business moving right now.
Sure. Yeah. If you are, I was just going to suggest that you contact Maria and let her know, and Maria will take her contact information, and at least we're starting to gather the interest. I don't want to keep that going, because you're here today, and that tells us that you have an interest in our community. So if you're interested in getting on one of the committees, please do. Please let Maria know.
Can I add something to that, Sherry, too? Maria, when you get those committee information, can you just forward it to our board members, and we can then, open up a line of communication with each of the individuals that have requested to serve on the committees?
Sure.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. All right. move on. I'm just gonna put a motion on the floor. I'm gonna combine two, that we establish, a frequent letter to homeowners and create a community newsletter. Is there a second?
I second that motion.
Any discussion? Sherry, any discussion?
Yeah, I think it could potentially be something that we create a committee to be the, like, say, the communication committee, and they establish the newsletter, and then if there's other communication that they want to put together, I think that would be a really great addition to our community.
Okay.
I would agree with Sherry that it would be great to have people from our community helping out, if not taking over some of that. I think it would be a terrific way to get people involved.
Okay. Ricardo?
I agree.
Mike?
Agreed.
Okay, all those, Maria, just as a note to everybody that's on there, again, also, if you're interested in being involved in developing, a newsletter and how we message and communicate to the, to the community, please send your information to Maria, so that we can create that and get a newsletter started. Okay, moving on.
If I can just say that I know we don't have all the homeowners on, so Maria, that will be something that I would also like to communicate to the homeowners via email, but we should craft that kind of communication to homeowners about getting on committees and, how we're starting. That would be something we want to do.
Okay.
All right, Maria, the board meetings from the last meeting. Do you wanna make a motion or to have those approved? I guess she's not hearing.
No, I'm here.
Oh,
Okay.
do
You have, I'm looking into the, I just have to bring it up. You have the minutes of October the 12th, 2020.
Whoa. Okay.
That's,
Didn't
those get
we vote
approved
on
in
the last
yeah.
meeting? First thing of the last meeting? On the 16th?
yeah, you have, that is, you have that one first on the October the 12th. Then you have the organizational meeting that you have on the 16th.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I have not.
Wasn't the meeting, the minutes from the October meeting approved in the November board meeting before we took over? I was at that meeting, and I believe they were voted on and approved.
Well, the one in October
Right.
was approved. The one in September, the one in November, I'm sorry, you're right. They were approved October 12th. So the only thing that we have the organizational meeting for November the 16th.
Yes.
And what about
Thank you.
the actual meeting that occurred before the meeting, the annual meeting? Do we have minutes for that?
Yes, sir. I forward all those minutes, but that is
Yes.
being approved by the membership at the next annual meeting.
Right.
Okay. Not the annual meeting, but the meeting before the annual meeting. There was a minute. There was where they approved the budget and other things.
That is the meeting from October the 12th that was approved. I'm sorry, November the 12th. I'm sorry, November the 12th. Yes,
Correct.
yes.
No, it was November 16th.
November 16th, right. Right before
November
the-
16th, there was a board meeting on November 16th, and we need to approve those meetings, those minutes, and we can approve them at the next meeting that we have, which is planned on December, I think, 14th. And we can approve the minutes from the meeting that happened at the annual meeting.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion that we skip we moved the board meeting minutes, any art committee minutes, grievance committee, financial report, property manager committee, we moved that to the December meeting, and we moved to, I do want to discuss at least one proposal that I think is a safety hazard and could open us up to some type of liability. So is there a second to skip that and move to the proposal?
I'll second it.
Okay, Sherry seconds it. All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay. Okay, on the agenda, I'm gonna share again, Maria. On the agenda, you'll see this one bid, repair of the pool gate lock, replace the old power supply. I think there are a couple others that are not as urgent, but this one, I believe, if somebody goes, we don't control access to that pool, and somebody gets in there, God forbid, a child walks through that gate and gets into the pool, I think, that being liable would be the worst of our problem. But what I would like to do is to discuss this first. I'm going to make the motion that we approve this to get it done. Is there a second?
I second it.
And if there's any discussion, I will pull up the document that's got the entire thing on here if anybody wants to see it.
Carl, the only question I have is the pool, what's the latest? Is the pool supposed to be closed due to COVID, or is it just as long as we don't have the chairs there?
Well, no. Now Western is they don't go and enforce you that you have to close the pool. Now you can open the pool, pull the chair, but the obligation is that we have to make sure that the homeowners keep the social distance.
Do we have the right to close the pool?
To close the pool?
Yeah, there we go.
Well,
just like Greg explained, there's a liability here. So my question is, if there's a liability, why don't we just close the pool until further notice until we get this fixed?
Yeah, if you want it, we could just put a lock on it.
yeah, I can put a lock on it.
This proposal is to fix the magnetic lock. Now, I mean, people are using it. I have seen people in there using the pool, but if we want to lock it, we'll vote on that, decide whether we want to do that or not.
And who received this quote?
A management, because before you used to have Access Master, and Access Master, according to them, that this one was going to cost around $1,800. So that time, the president asked me to get another proposal. So you already have a job. Remember that I explained to you, Ricardo, that they were fixing already even the door of the men's bathroom. It was approved for them to do it, but they cannot finish that job. But at the same token, the area in the back of the room from the pool, the big machine that looks like a big battery, that is bad. So right now, when you go and you want to reset it, it keeps giving you the noise of the bathroom because it's bad. So that's why I presented this proposal.
Okay.
Well, I make a motion that we get the gate fixed. And given that we have an $1,800 proposal and now a $1,200 proposal, if there's confidence in this vendor, I would make a motion that we move forward as quickly as possible.
So I understand the motion to approve the proposal for $1,227.78. Is that correct, Sherry?
Yes, as long as Maria has worked with this vendor and feels comfortable, this vendor is going to provide the services that we ask.
Yes, they are licensed and insured, and they work in different communities. Yes.
Maria, will they guarantee their work?
Oh yeah. As long that nobody comes and break it, like they did the same thing at the men's bathroom, that they won't be able to do it. So in vandalism, they won't. But yes, you have a 30 days the labor, but then the power supply is according to the manufacturer, which will be 1 year for the power supply.
Okay, I'm gonna second the motion that we approve this. Now let's go to discussion. Mike, you got anything else?
Well, this has always been a problem in our community. In fact, even if you put a lock on that door, they climb over the fence. So,
Understood, but
so this has always been a problem. I don't know how many times that we've changed the lock on this thing, and I don't know whether it's the type of lock we're putting on, or I have no idea, but I do know that this is an ongoing issue. So I'm a little leery at the lock. Again, I'm not a lock expert. I just hope that, it'll last.
But Maria, the lock won't work because the bathroom lock was damaged. Is that correct?
Yes. And also the power supply that is not connecting is not working. So it's not connecting the magnet to
All right.
right there.
Oh, so you're talking about to open the door from the inside, you use that thing on the wall by the bathroom? Is that what you're saying?
Well, here,
No.
here's a technical explanation. Basically, all these magnetic doors that you see all over the place, they're powered by magnets. So what happens is this power supply is providing the polarization for the magnets to kind of stay attached. The moment you lose power, or you press that button, or you use your key fob, that's where it releases the magnet or the power, and it allows you to open the door. So I don't know the issue, but like based on what Maria is explaining, the power supply is the culprit of this matter, and that's why the doors are in. But in addition to that, they broke the door in the men's bathroom. The two are totally separate issues, it sounds like, but the power supply needs to be replaced in order for the magnets to work.
So the lock on the gate to the pool is all right?
No, that needs to get powered by this power supply.
I know.
But
the
it
power
works.
supply. But what about the lock itself? If we got a new power supply, does that mean we do not have to replace the lock?
That's correct. We don't have to replace the lock. It's only the power supply, the one that gives you the electricity. Let's put it this way, to all those magnetics.
Okay.
It
all
will
right.
work.
And where is this power supply located? In the room on the outside of the pool?
And the room in the back on the men's bathroom, we have where the cameras are. That is where you have the power supply. It's in the wall. When you're coming inside, it's on the top left side. It's a box that you will see it.
All right.
And Maria, just quickly, what caused this power supply to not work anymore?
That nobody knows because it start beeping and we don't know what it caused. It could be maybe the power that went off and come back. I really don't know, and I don't know how old is this power supply.
Do we want to have some way where we can avoid that from happening in the future?
Well, that's what I was going to bring. The next one is to see if we can have a power surge.
A surge protector, something along those lines. Would that be helpful?
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay.
sir.
I think we should look into that as well.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve. We have a second. Is there any more discussion on approval of 2 power supplies with labor for $1,227? Okay. All those in favor of approval of this proposal say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, motion passed. Approval is approved.
Yeah, Maria, just one other question. How fast could this be done?
Well, number one, usually all those proposals needs to be signed by the president or the vice president, somebody. But it's up to you. If you're comfortable after you have approval by the minutes, and you have to tell me, Maria, you can still sign the contracts and representation, I will sign it and forward to the vendor. Just remember, we have the holiday that's coming. I cannot promise that it can be done tomorrow, but I will try my best to push the vendor either Friday or Saturday if they don't go away.
Maria, I will print this off. I will sign it. I will scan it, and I will send it to you in email tonight.
Perfect. If you can do in color ink, so it's just to verify the signature, okay?
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. It's getting late. I'm gonna make a motion to move to item 5 on the agenda, which is just give the homeowners a chance. They've been waiting around to have any comments, and then we establish the next board meeting and then adjourn and then discuss the legal issues. So what that really means is the remainder of the other 2 proposals, which are basically tree removals and the applications for architectural modification, be deferred, and we get the art committee to do those. That's my motion. Is there a second?
Second the motion.
Okay, Sherry seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, thank you. All right.
Greg, can you stop sharing your screen so
Yes.
that we can see all the homeowners?
I'm gonna do that.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so what I'd like to do now is to open the floor to the homeowners. If they have any comments, again, if you just like write in the chat, then let's you have a comment, you'll be recognized.
Greg, I every time who came in, I wrote down the names. If you
Okay.
want, I can start calling each one. If
No.
that's
No, because a lot of people don't have a request. They can either raise their hand or,
okay.
yeah.
Frank had a comment first, and then Jonathan's next. So Frank's up.
Okay.
All right, guys. Good evening. On the power supply, did anybody bother checking the $15 battery to replace it? Did the vendor do that?
No.
Okay. I'm been in the IT field for 25 years. When the power supply beeps, it's because it's lost power or the battery is failing. To me, that's the easy fix. Is first check the battery, make sure it's working. Could be it could be a bad power supply, but the battery might just be the battery.
Okay, Frank.
Mm-hmm.
I misunderstood. The vendor came and checked the battery.
Okay.
They measured the whole thing with the machine. So that's when they decided that the battery was wrong. Yes.
Okay.
That's it. Yes, they did that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Who's next?
Jonathan?
John.
Hi. Thank you again, new board. You guys are awesome. And Greg, you look so tired. Thank you for sticking it out. I had a few things that I want to touch upon, but really one of the most important things that I wanted to state was several weeks ago, could have even been a month ago, we had a homeowner whose house was intruded upon by somebody fraudulently representing themselves as a city official. The police came to my house, as they did to many other homes, looking for some type of video evidence to see if we can catch this person or identify this person who went to this house. I find it very disturbing. That's number one. Number two, many of the communities in Weston are gated, so they have evidence of who comes in, who comes out. Unfortunately, we don't have that. However, I spoke with the police officer and I asked if we could put some type of video system in at the front of the neighborhood. I guess we could do this in all the neighborhoods, but some type of security measure because we don't have a gate. The police officer, the detective, had said that many communities do that. we would have to figure out where to put some type of camera system. When I said security system, I mean a camera because we don't have a gate, but some type of camera system installed on a sign, a light post, something that is some measure of protection. I think this was an unusual circumstance, and I don't think it would happen again, but it's pretty frightening and it's very troubling that a neighbor experienced this. So if we had the ability to go back and look at this camera system, I'm not familiar with camera systems. I know that almost every home has one. It's something that maybe we could look into to installing at the front of the neighborhood. It's just, the little things that we can do to protect our neighborhood. I have a few other comments, but I think that was the most important one. The security of our neighbors, it's a little scary. So whatever we can do to help each other and help the neighborhood, even if a special assessment is involved with this, I don't know how much camera systems cost. They could be a couple hundred to a couple thousand, but I'm hoping that everybody would be on board with that. So we can keep track of people who come in and out if, God forbid, we need to.
Okay, I know we looked into that before at one point, and it was an issue of Wi-Fi connection, internet connection, but we'll go ahead and revisit that. We'll see what our options are. We've always wanted to do that. We always wanted to be able to get a shot of a car's license plate coming in and leaving, and people coming in and out as well. So it's not new. It's not a new issue, but it's something we definitely can at least look into so we can make an informed decision.
Okay, and I just have some minor comments, Greg. I know you want to get out of here. I just want to find out about the tree trimming and when we can expect some tree trimming. I know we have mentioned this at several of the meetings, but I don't know if, I think a couple of people said that the guys came around the neighborhood and trimmed their trees, but I still see no evidence around my house, and it's been at least 3 years since trees have been trimmed near my house. That's one thing. Fertilization, the grass is basically a bunch of weeds accumulated together to look like grass, and I'm hoping that, in an inexpensive solution, that we can get this grass fertilized, and where areas are sinking, maybe, lift it up a little bit, but, make it look a little bit better. Pest control, I haven't seen any pest control recently, and I know with all the rain, we're starting to get an issue that we had years ago when we first moved in, these carpenter ants. We have our own internal pest control, but if these unwieldy trees can be sprayed, as well as the outside of the homes and the grass, carpenter ants could be devastating. And lastly, because this has to do with the recent tropical storm Eta and the subsequent downpours that we had. So obviously we know that we had tremendous flooding, and I'd spoken with the city and several officials, and the sewers were at capacity. They were pumping as much as they could. But one thing that may help, and I spoke to a contractor about this, that our particular sewer system, because we have a city sewer system near the house. I think the round ones were the city sewer, and the grates, the homeowners association the homeowners association was responsible for, and they're supposed to be cleaned out. The contractor said at least twice a year. I didn't speak to the official about that. He just said it does have to be cleaned out periodically. But I was told, I don't know if Jim had mentioned it once, or maybe Raul had mentioned it once, that Raul. So I don't think the sewer has been cleaned out in more than a year. 4 years? So it's been quite a while, and I believe there's supposed to be some type of, regimen, some type of, I can't think of the words, I'm getting older, but that something that needs to be followed, that these sewers are maintained, because the flooding was devastating, and I know that the city had issues too. But if, again, if we can do our part in making sure they are maintained on a regular basis, and regular, I don't mean monthly, whatever the contractor or advisor would propose. I just want to keep up on these things so we can mitigate any disasters.
Yeah, it's
Greg,
not a mystery. I don't know, I can't tell you when the last time it was, but I know that they were done. There is a requirement to do it on a periodic basis, both to inspect them and to clean them. So we'll check into that as well.
actually, usually it's the property manager who ensures that this is done, and you're right, it is required. Maria, do you know if the last time the vacuum trucks were here?
The last time, no, but when I requested that information, they told me that the next cleaning will be next year. So that was my plan for next year, to clean it before the hurricane season.
Yeah, I believe we have one company that comes out with that big vacuum truck.
Correct. And
Moves
usually
around the sewers.
you have to certify all the drains every 5 years.
But there is a company that does that, and I believe we were using them.
Do you use it every year?
Well, I saw them in the neighborhood probably within the last year with that big vacuum truck that they stick down into the sewer. I assume
That might be the city,
Oh,
but not
Well,
in
We're
my.
not gonna solve it here.
I had a truck in front of my house recently for the French drains. So you might be referring to that, where they were cleaning out and blowing out French drains and making sure that our drains are running properly. So I don't know if you're referring to that, and if we do need somebody, these people were excellent. So I'd certainly be happy to bring that to the attention of the board.
Okay, Maria, when we get these all typed, we'll compare notes, and this is gonna be your punch list, you know, after these meetings, to go down these things and knock them off.
Okay.
All right, Daniel, you're next.
Thank you.
Disregard. I don't. Never mind.
Okay, Steve.
Yeah, real quick, I've got Betty Williams here. She's a 33-year resident of Country House, lives over on Montpelier. She doesn't have email or computer, so I'm helping her with Zoom.
Thank you for doing that.
You raised the idea of tree removal. Otherwise, I just know, what's the procedure for her to be able to request a tree to be removed, and who would she contact?
If you could help, because she just needs to get a note to Maria.
They should mention that they.
And who's Maria?
Maria is
I'm
our
here.
property manager. She's
Okay,
on the.
you have contact info?
Yes.
But they contacted me 5 years ago and said they were going to come in and remove the tree.
But they didn't.
They didn't.
Can-
So anyway,
can-
we'll go through. Anyway.
Can I have the address, please?
2183 Mount Pelier,
Is that?
section
Section 2.
Patio 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, I'll find that out. So it's through the property.
I already have a phone number, so I will call you tomorrow, Mrs.
Great.
Williams.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
Yes.
Is there anybody else that has any comment, questions? Okay, thank you.
I actually did.
Okay, go ahead.
Christine Monteverde. I was just curious if something was going to be done about the overnight parking on the streets. I know there's a lot of cars that are parked on the streets overnight now. And also, I had a question about the way people are parking in their driveways, the 2 cars one way, and then sometimes a third car horizontally, halfway in the street and halfway in the driveway. I have that almost every night along our streets here. I was just wondering if something's going to be done about that.
Maria, I'll let you talk first, and then I'll make a comment.
Okay. Usually before, what the board decided is that the people will have to park, like you say, Christine, the 2 cars in the driveway, and the third car very as much inside in the driveway. It might be sticking a little bit. What we don't want to see is that the cars are parking in both sides, because then the emergency car cannot go. And so if they park in one side of the street, that according to the board before, it was allowed.
No, but I'm talking about at night. Overnight parking, are allowed to park overnight on the street. And that,
Yeah.
no,
Okay.
that's not part of our rules and regulations.
What I'm trying to tell you, what it was done before.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so
And this is all the time, and everybody keeps calling me, and I keep saying the same thing like the board, that yes, they allowed it to park in one side of the street, not
Okay.
in the
at night,
other side.
overnight.
I got this. We will revisit this. What I want to know is, did we cancel the towing contract?
It wasn't a towing contract with me at my time.
Okay, they used to pay. We used to pay
Right.
somebody to.
It was canceled. Greg, it was canceled.
Okay.
I know that Dan looked into
Okay.
that and that was canceled.
So Marie get some proposals. If it's important enough, we'll vote on it. But bottom line is, and we'll bring this up again, but there's not, somebody can cut me off if they want, but you're not supposed to park on the street overnight. The issue with the 2 cars parked and the 3rd car parked horizontally, as long as, 1, they weren't on the grass, and 2, at least 2 of the tires had to be in the driveway. Now, and it wasn't, this is serious because it's for emergency vehicles. Our streets are narrow enough and wide enough that if people are parking in the street and somebody's got to get an ambulance, a fire truck, or something in there, then they have to be able to do it. So we're to address your question and your comment. I'm sorry I didn't catch your name.
My name is Christine, Greg.
So Christine, we will take that on.
Thank you very much. I'd like to add also, since the streets are narrow, if you have someone parking in the street across from a driveway, then it's almost impossible to get out of your driveway. And that's the problem I'm facing every day. And then they park halfway in their driveway and halfway on the street when they do it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I have an issue almost every other day with trying to get out of my driveway if someone's parking in the street across from my driveway.
All right.
Greg, if we could just add to that list of review, the overnight parking at the pool, what that, because people are asking me about that.
Now, it used to be that, because the pool closed at dusk, we allowed it overnight parking, but by dawn or pool hours open, those vehicles had to be gone or they were subject to tow. Is that different, or are we talking a totally different issue?
We're talking about that issue, just a question. I think there's been concerns brought to me by homeowners that there's overnight parking, may not even be homeowners here, that, other people from outside the community are parking there.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Well, thank you for addressing it. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Christine. Anybody else we didn't catch? Frank, I see your note. Anything else?
Yeah, I was in
Go
there.
ahead.
Steve Palmer, Betty had one more question, because she's heard regarding the mailboxes. Is there a status on that as far as the repainting of them? She'd heard rumor there wasn't enough money for it or otherwise, but there's an issue. Is that a resolved issue, or is that something that's still pending?
Well, it's not resolved as we speak, but that was, I don't know if you were on it, you weren't on at the beginning, but we were asking questions about, the reserve and the tracking of money put into reserve for different projects. We have to do some housekeeping and find out where we are with that.
Okay.
We understand our priority. If we want to be the best community, then we got to make it look that way. And so we have to come up with a plan to do that.
It's on the list, but it's not resolved yet.
That's correct.
Okay, thanks.
Can I bring up something about mailboxes? I heard that, are we no longer repairing mailboxes that are being broken? I'm going to ask Maria that question.
No, we repair. That's a definite yes, we repair. If the hinges of you cannot close the door, yes, As long I have and I check that it's done is that way, I will call the company to come and do it. Yes.
Are we still
Repairs?
using? Okay, well, I just want to make sure, 'cause I heard that from a homeowner and I was, just want to follow up, so we send them out there, they fix it, and then it's
yeah.
repaired. Okay,
Yes.
okay,
And
very
it's
good.
still you're using the same company who did your original mailboxes, which is beautiful mailboxes.
Okay, perfect. They charge like $26 or something, and they fix it. Okay, good.
Yes, it depends if it's the hinges, but if it's something else that they have to change or weld the box or anything, that's completely different. It's around 175 for welding or something like that.
Okay, thank you very
Okay?
much.
Okay. Any other comments? Okay, let's move on to item 6, the next board meeting. Maria, what is the date for the next board meeting?
You have, just give me a second. It would be December the 14th, Monday.
I'm gonna ask the board's indulgence to see if we can move that to 7:45 instead of 8. Otherwise, I cannot attend because of a work commitment. Would that be too late if we start at 7:45?
I have no issues.
Sherry,
I'm fine.
Jim?
Greg, I just a question. Is that because you have a commitment on Mondays only, or is that a problem?
For the next couple months, I'm still at work, and I could be there by 7:45, if that's okay with everybody.
Okay, but is it only Monday, or is it every day?
No, just Monday, just that Monday.
So
I mean,
if we
If
moved
we
it
moved
to
it
another,
to Tuesday,
Yeah.
I could do 7 o'clock.
what do you guys? What does everybody think?
I'm sorry, Tuesdays don't work for me. I have a meeting. It's at 8 every Monday, every Tuesday
Okay.
for the next couple months. So I'm okay with a Wednesday. I'm okay with the Thursday. I just every Tuesday I traditionally have an 8 o'clock meeting.
Okay, so December 16th?
At 7:45,
Oh, 14th, Monday?
Monday, 7:45. Okay, got that, Maria?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does anybody want to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, is there a
I
second?
second it.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the meeting for tonight is adjourned. Again, everybody, thank you so much for attending this. Board members, please stay around so we can, Ricardo and I will just briefly discuss with you what we discussed with the lawyers today. Thank you.